Ryan, roll the intro. Okay, Ryan. Beautiful people, hello. It is I, Ryan, beloved host of Tardis Wiki Roulette. And it is also Alan, also a beloved host of Tardis Wiki Roulette. We are here. Is this the multi-Ryan episode we've been waiting for? Very possibly. I'm not sure why the chat isn't up to date right now. That isn't good. Let's try and fix that really quickly while we're here. It is not supposed to be doing that. Hang on, is it set to refresh page? Refresh browser when Zoom becomes active. Okay. There we go. We're back. We're back. Only I get multi-people episodes. That's true. When I split in like Dr. Manhattan into 3 Ryans. We only do that for private times though. Dark Doctor, Rainbow Flag. Oh. Okay. Let's see. Could have sworn the rainbow flag was on there already, but we'll put it on again. How are we doing today? How is everyone doing on the day of our Lord? This day. Destry versus Sonic the Hedgehog for next from scratch. I think that would be fun. Ryan, will you be buying the Weeping Angel from the BBC Children in Need auction? Haha! I already did! I know some pride flags are on there as I found some valid sources for them. Awesome. You're doing fine. Even better to hear. Even better to hear. Okay. Okie dokie. I think I should explain the premise of the show now. It's in the background, Ryan. What's in the background? What's in the background? Every entry is technically in the background right now. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're chatting about. The Weeping Angel is... I know, it's going to take me and send me back 30 years in the future to when the internet was still new and fresh and exciting and a wonderful place to be and not just a hellhole full of far-right bots. Be great. Wouldn't it be a good time? I think it would be a good time. Anyway, yeah, the premise of the show that we're all here to watch. So we get articles from the Tardis Wiki, not the fandom one, and then we put them on the wheel here. And then we spin the wheel, and then we look at the TARDIS Wiki. That was my most enthusiastic read of the premise of the show ever. And now we get on to the meat of things. In the future, I think you meant the past. Probably. Drake and Kendrick Lamar, do they have TARDIS Wiki pages? Who else enjoyed the halftime show, by the way? It's the only halftime show I've ever watched. Because I like Kendrick Lamar quite a lot. I thought it was a good time. Let's get in the thick of it. I think we should. This is the most normal one of these I've seen. I know. I haven't even made a clown of myself yet. It'll happen, though. There's always time. There's always time. Especially here on TARDIS Wiki Roulette. Let's spin the wheel.
Yeah, baby.
Like to catch you by surprise sometimes, keep you on your toes. Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay. Let's get in the best halftime in years. Yeah. Did Trump really leave immediately afterwards, after the halftime show? I didn't know that. The power of Kendrick Lamar, man. This is why I was going to say Pulitzer Prize winning rapper, and then I had to correct myself. 2-time Pulitzer Prize winning rapper. That's incredible. Yeah, he did. Amazeballs. Amazeballs. If only he could do that in the White House. Well, I mean, it's still pretty good. We'll take it. It cost $20 million for It cost $20 million for Trump to be there. Womp womp. I don't like football either, Craig. I didn't watch the football. I watched the halftime show after the game because I don't care about football. I did watch the Puppy Bowl though, and that was pretty good. I enjoyed the Puppy Bowl a lot. Surprise, motherfucker! Would you like some fries, motherfucker? How you doing, Najawed? Wait, he won the same award as Lois Lane? Yes, he won the same award as Lois Lane. Yes. Because his verses, they're not just verses, they're not just poetry, they're journalism. And they're commentary on the world. I don't know, his stuff's really good. Genuinely really good. If you don't listen to any other rapper, you should listen to Kendrick Lamar. You watched a regular bowl? You can't believe it? Hey Drake, I know! The smile! The cheeky little smile on his face. Also, the fact that the M.A.A.D managed to get a crowd of like, I don't know, tens of thousands of people. Let's see, how big was the Super Bowl crowd? Let's look this up. How big was the Super Bowl crowd? All right. How many watched the Super Bowl? Okay, so in front of a crowd of 65,000 and in front of 127 million viewers, Kendrick Lamar in a stadium which had fucking Donald Trump in it, got the entire crowd to yell the word PDF file, and I think that's an incredible cultural victory, and nothing can take away from it. I like how Crypto was the host of the Puppy Bowl this year. There was a Crypto segment, and they did drop a new Super Bowl, a new Superman trailer in the Puppy Bowl, which is crazy. How have you kidnapped today? Something Blue Audio. I like. He uses the Stephen Hawking voice software to rap. One second. I am still muted. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, I'm sorry the connection is so weak. There's not really anything I can do about it, though. We tried, like, resetting the internet router and stuff. I'm not sure. Drake has infected the stream. Very, very possibly. Ryan, your friend sent you something on Discord? Okay, I'm doing a live stream right now. I can't check that. I'm a professional. I like it. Nice, comforting, black and white silent film. Tardis Wiki Roulette. I'm hoping it, like, I'm hoping it works in a minute. Let's see. By the way, the BBC did a decent documentary. You should on Eden Night. You should watch. Oh, okay. Can you show us then? No, I can't even get the stream to work right now. I think we're just gonna have to deal with it. I don't know. The kidnappee is still making noises. You should deal with them. Oh, shout out to the 4 people who just left, by the way. I'm sorry about the condition of the stream right now. There's literally nothing I can do about it. This is probably definitely the best day of my life. I'm building shelves, don't worry about it. It is very loud though, like I can see every time it like happens, it drowns me out. No one has to see the shelves either, they're my shelves. Are you guys actually getting a video signal right now? Because it looks like you're not. It says here that it's not sending any data to the video. And I am not sure what to do. I'm fine, I should just stream as normal. Okay. This is boring. I'm sorry it's boring while we're trying to sort the stream out. You're so shelvish. Yes, the person doing this is extremely shelvish. Yes. Yes, they know it's my work time right now and they're still doing this, so I would say extremely shelvish. Yes. On the internet, nobody has to see your shelves. One person is watching, just kidding. I know that I lost viewers during that whole fucking debacle just now. Alright, we should be good to go. Let's have a look at this page for election, and I'm just going to ignore the thing saying that you're not actually getting stream data right now. Okay, election. Oof. Oh, God. Page navigated away. Alright, I gotta fix this now. Alright. The Lord President of the High Council of Gallifrey might be chosen by election. Jack Robertson planned to run an American presidential election in 2020. There were also other types of elections, like a general election that Great Britain's parliament system used. Harriet Jones won a general election in a landslide majority to secure herself and her party a term in government. Later, the Saxon Master, posing as Harold Saxon, won a general election. The Daleks held elections every Skaro year to appoint the Dalek Emperor and the Black Dalek as their rulers. However, the Daleks had little choice in the matter. When in one re-election, the Red Extragalactic Squadron spoke out and demanded a more effective leader, the Emperor had the Black Dalek obliterate them. Because that's democracy in action. It is a big one, yeah. Oh dear. Aristide, Soto and Epsilon were too weak, we know it was them. Woke Daleks, very possibly. I'm so sorry, guys. I know it's like peeking the mic every time it happens. Alright, let's go. Alright, let's spin the wheel again. Fuck it. Ghostface! Let's look up Ghostface on Tardis Wiki Roulette. Okay. We did this one? Oh, we did this one? Okay. It's happening like right underneath us, the construction, so it's hard to avoid. Yes. Yes. All right, let's take a look. Is he using power tools now? Jesus. Hi, Silas. We did both this and Final Girl. Did I remove this from the wheel? I think I did. If I didn't, then we'll just have to land on it again someday. We'll find out.
Yeah, baby.
We're gonna spin the wheel again and see where it lands. Alright, is this Astrax Comics? Is that meant to be Asterix Comics? There's only one way to find out, and that's to look it up on the TARDIS Wiki. All Daleks are Truscum? I don't know what Truscum is. Daleks having genders doesn't sit right with me. Oh. Daleks do have gender? Why? What is Truscum? Or do I not want to know? In which case I really... True scum? Is that what that means? Is that what that means? Okay. Is that really what it means? Is it really? Okay. They can't have names. That's what made the Cult of Skaro special. I suppose that's true. Okay, the cover of one issue of a comic book was present on the wall of a child's room in London, 1963. TV, The Devil's Cord. Astrax Comics was one of 3 faux comic book covers designed by Sophie Cowdery for The Devil's Cord, alongside Galaxy Pirates and the legendary Lunar Landing. The original art of the 3 covers was posted to Sophie's website. There we go. Cult of Skaro is a myth, remember? What do you mean it's a myth? It happened. It happened on the TVs. On TV's Doctor Who. How could the Cult of Skaro be a myth? True scum are trans people who say that you can only be trans if you medically transition. Well, that's bollocks. I think Daleks would be TERFs realistically. Yeah, they probably would. Yes, that is true. Let's try and spin the wheel again.
Yeah, baby.
Fantastic. Okay. Oh. Oof. Call of Duty was a game played by Ryan Sinclair. Although another account suggested that the name was GoldenEye 007, Jared Ramon claimed to flip that fighting the Terrorvores was better than this game. Jordan Proctor was playing Call of Duty when his sister arrived at his flat. In the Brazilian dubbing of TV The Ghost Monument, the game was changed to GoldenEye 007. David Tennant played the character Drosten Hind in the Nazi Zombies mode of the 2017 Call of Duty World War II. I wonder if that worked. This is the fandom site? No, it isn't. I'm very certain that it isn't. And we have several people here that can guarantee that it isn't. Okay. It looked like it? Oh, okay. It doesn't though, does it? Really? It doesn't really look like it though, does it? When are they doing a Nazi zombie episode though? That's a good question. You're the fandom site. The fandom site looks like balls. It's not even the same colours. True. All of that's true. All of those are true facts. Yes.
Yeah, baby.
Let's spin the wheel again. Fuck it. Alright, the TV show Merlin. We're not going to do this one because I have lots of great points that I would love to cut into a video, but I can't do that with the constant fucking hammering going on. So we're going to skip that one. Sorry.
Yeah, baby.
All right, fine. Oof. Alright, Adolf Hitler was the leader of the Nazi Party. As leader of the Nazi regime, he was the Fuhrer of Germany between 1933 and 1945, and a chief instigator of World War II. Adolf Hitler was born on the 20th of April, 1889. In 1903, after receiving a wealth of information from the future, Grigory Rasputin foresaw, among other things, Hitler's rise to power. What? But Grigory Rasputin is the master. That's not really predicting anything, is it? I mean, you already know that happened because you're a time traveler. That's a shit prediction. In 1903, after... Oh, I already read that bit, didn't I? Whoops. Hitler tried his hand as a student of art, but never forged a successful career in the field. When the First World War broke out, Hitler served as a soldier in the German army. Hitler's defeat in 1918 was a source of bitter humiliation to many Germans, and Hitler was no exception. He became bitter, neurotic, resentful, and hateful, blaming the loss of the war on Jews, communists, and the rich. Hitler became a member of the National Socialist German Workers' Party after its foundation in 1919 and became its leader in 1921. He discovered a talent as an orator, and his speeches helped raise the party to prominence, while other similar fringe groups during the period quickly faded away. During the Time Worm, seeking revenge on the Seventh Doctor by destroying the planet he loved, chose Hitler as a vessel and figurehead to help advance her plan to manipulate human history. However, she did not expect his mind to be so powerful and became trapped inside Hitler, unaware of the attempted possession. Hold on. Hold the fucking phone. Super cringe. Super cringe. This idea that Hitler was just such a fucking, like, mega chad that he was able to overpower this alien psychic entity. This is some of the worst shit I've ever heard, man. This is like the Doctor Who equivalent of those weird, socially irresponsible History Channel documentaries that are like, the Nazis actually had a Death Star and blaster rifles and lightsabers. The Nazis were like Supermen with super science, and it's a miracle we defeated them, when in real life the Nazis were incompetent boobs and losers because they were fascists. And as we all know, fascism is an ideology for incompetent boobs and losers who have to blame all of the insecurities and failings in their own life on minority groups because they're losers, as said. Anyway, let's continue reading this article. Guess who wrote it? You can see on the page. I'm gonna say that this is either was Grobert's writing during this era, because if they weren't, this feels like for some reason this has the same energy as Terrence Dicks saying that they needed to have women be like submissive and chained to saws and shit in the classic era for Doctor Who to work. This has a very Uncle Terry off his meds kind of energy to it. Someone famous for revitalizing Doctor Who. Is it Terrence Dicks or is it Russell T Davies? Which one is it? Because I know for a fact that Stephen Moffat didn't write Time Worm. You can look. I can look. We can end the speculation. Where do I have to look to find this? Oh, Time Word Exodus was his first appearance. Who is responsible for this? Terrence Dicks! Oh no, Uncle Terry! You fool! Cornell is your guess? Yep, Uncle Terry, you were right. Well, I know that it's like sacrosanct to criticize Terrence Dicks for everything, for anything, but this one was probably an L, to be honest. Okay, where were we? Okay. Hitler, unaware of the attempted possession, began subconsciously accessing the Time Worm's vast psychic powers and using them to become an even more compelling speaker. Hang on. Is this implying that the Hall of Cost wasn't entirely Hitler's fault? He was just possessed by an alien? Is that what this is implying? To be fair, there was probably a lot of room in Hitler's head. Besides the point. Entirely besides the point. And we both know this to be true. The real point here is, why are you glazing up Hitler so much? Not only did they make him have just too high a power level for the Time Worm's jutsu to work, but also then kind of taking away the culpability of some of what he did as well. This is weird, man. This is weird. Poor Hitler. Read Black Earth. Doctor Who everywhere. Najawin repeats himself every stream. Read Black Earth. This is the first time I've ever heard you say those words in that order, I'm afraid. Probably due to not paying attention very much. By the way, do you guys know about African Hitler? Do you guys know about African Hitler? I'm not talking about Robert Mugabe, by the way. Do you guys know about African Hitler? Hang on. I'm just grabbing this really quickly. Long list. Okay. Adolf Hitler is a Namibian civil rights activist and politician. They've been a counselor and member of the Southwest Africa People's Organization since 2003. Apparently German names are just really common in Namibia. But yeah, there's an Adolf Hitler out there who's a passionate civil rights activist. I just thought you'd really like to know that. African Hitler seems like a chill dude. Yeah, he does. Every single policy I've ever seen him put forward actually seems really chill and like helpful to the society he lives in. His parents must have despised him. He's on that Wikipedia roulette list. Amazing. Maybe there's an Ryan Molyneux that is anti-woke. Almost certainly there is. I tell you what, I can say this for a fact. A lot of Molyneux are anti-woke. YouTube blocked my message. Well, I mean. Let's check out. Also, during this time, the warlords discovered Hitler's psychic abilities and decided to use him in their second attempt to conquer the universe. However, for much of the 1920s and 30s, they could only observe Hitler, nudging his career along from the sidelines at most. What? Is this from the War Games novelization? What? Your mom is one? Yes, that is true, Najawin. I love this fact. I hate this fact. That's fucking terrible, man. This is so irresponsible and stupid. Why did they think this was a good idea? Alright, on the 9th of November 1923, Hitler led the unsuccessful beer hall push against the German War Office in Munich. Trampled by the fleeing party members after the police scattered the protesters, he thought that the display a shameful one and contemplated suicide after believing his chance at leadership had been squandered. However, the 7th Doctor reset Hitler's dislocated shoulder and gave him words of advice and encouragement, claiming his time as leader would come in later years. Ace should have made him fucking regenerate for that shit. The Doctor's shocked companion, Ace, tried to assassinate Hitler with a canister of Nitro 9A, but the Doctor ruined her aim. He warned that Hitler's survival was necessary to ensure Hitler's history ran its proper course. I tell you what, she should have beat him to death with that fucking baseball bat. For even thinking that, let alone saying it. Wow. I guess that the 7th Doctor thinks that Nazis are a necessary evil. Wow. That he's also best friends with Stalin. Yeah, I know, that's bad too. This is worse. This is several orders of magnitude worse than the Stalin thing, which is also terrible. I would just like to make clear. Yeah, what book is this? Oh, it's also Time Worm? First Doctor also likes Nazis, if you've heard an early Big Finish. 12 would never. He justifies concentration camps, apparently. Why? Why 90s Doctor Who? Hitler was later arrested and imprisoned for his part in the coup. Originally sentenced to prison for 5 years, he was ultimately released after only 6 months, during which time he wrote Mein Kampf. After his release, he returned to public life as a hero to many. From then, he was able to focus his efforts on reorganizing the scattered remnants of the Nazi Party. By January 1933, Hitler and the resurgent Nazis were seen by many in Germany to be playing their part in nation's recovery. Hitler's private army, the SA, it effectively replaced the corrupt police force and helped clamp down on crime, as well as many of the Nazis' opponents in the process. Hitler and the Nazi Party played on the German people's discontent with the punishment Germany faced from the Treaty of Versailles, especially the war reparations they were made to pay to the Allies. This led to the party winning the 1932 elections. However, they did not win a majority in the Reichstag. Hitler finally became Chancellor of Germany on 30th of January 1933 after winning 33% of the vote. Agent Hitler, FBI. I'm not joking. It was for the 50th. Oh no! Hitler and his followers subscribed to the ideology of fascism, which called for governance by a ruthless military dictatorship committed to the suppression of weakness and the importance of the fatherland. Accordingly, Hitler and his ministers purged the German state of all dissenting voices and establishing the dictatorship of the Third Reich. His rise coincided with that of other fascist leaders, Benito Mussolini in Italy and Francisco Franco in Spain. His ascension to power received little reaction from the United Kingdom, where the Prime Minister David Ramsay MacDonald continued to prioritise his domestic programme. For this, the 7th Doctor branded MacDonald an idiot, while individuals like Winston Churchill tried to... Wait a minute! You don't get to fucking judge, Seven. You don't get a fucking opinion anymore, mate. You could have stopped it all, and you chose not to. Never ever involve yourself in British politics again, Mr. The Doctor, if that is your real name. We done this page, yeah, but fuck you. Have you considered that? Those sitting atop the rank as Führer, Hitler himself had little interest in administration and hard work, preferring ceremonial roles of little importance despite his public image as a Superman. He enjoyed sleeping late, long lunches, inspecting factories and new autobahns, and haranguing his subordinates. He left the running of the state apparatus to said subordinates, including Heinrich Himmler, Martin Bormann, Joseph Goebbels, Hermann Goering, and others. The photograph of a silent stood behind Hitler at a Nazi rally was included in the book The Secret Lives of Monsters. When did you idiots put this out? Whose fucking fault is this? Hang on. The various... Alright, who actually wrote The Secret Lives of Monsters, though? Because this doesn't help me. Whose fault is this? Justin Richards. What are you doing, Justin? Ryan, please add these. I will add these. Of course I'll add these. You know what I'm about. Okay. These are added. I know Council of Frogs is on there. It is. It is now on there, in fact. Okay. Let's continue. Where's Captain America, G.I. Robot, BJ Blazkowicz, Superman, and Duke Nukem when you need him? Hey, Duke Nukem would definitely vote for Trump, okay? Absolutely he would. All copyrighted. Player TARDIS Turmoil. What's that? Okay. Sorry, Land of Fiction. If GI existed, Elon would be toast in a minute. Probably, yes. Probably. Okay. Let's go back to the to the article we were reading. I'll stop getting disheartened over all the viewers we've lost. Surely copyright doesn't matter in the time of generative AI in the world of government. In the summer of 1934, Hitler began to fear that Ernest Röhm and the SA were plotting a coup against him. On the 29th and 30th of June, Hitler ordered a preemptive strike against his own private army, which was effectively eradicated by the Schutzstaffel, Pro's Time Worm, Exodus Wolfsbane. The SS essentially replaced the SA as Hitler's elite bodyguard. By 1936, Hitler had reoccupied the Rhineland and began rearming in direct contravention of the Treaty of Versailles. The British government took no action and instead adopted the policy of appeasement, hoping to avoid another war. The policy counterproductively suited Hitler very well, granting him time to build up the strength of the Wehrmacht, the Luftwaffe, and the Kriegsmarine, as well as emboldening him further by showing that the Allied powers were willing to back down from a confrontation. In light of these developments, Hitler was irritated by the presence of the likes of Winston Churchill, whom he referred to contemptuously as that gangster. Churchill and his allies opposed appeasement, and although remained unpopular and marginalised at home, Hitler worried that they could harm Germany's standing in Britain's public opinion. At the time, Hitler was planning to build a vast empire in the east modelled on the British Empire and wanted to avoid a fight with a fellow nation of superior Aryans. Joachim von Ribbentrop, the German ambassador to Britain, began working to secure an alliance. In the midst of Britain's abdication crisis during November and December 1936, Ribbentrop was approached by the Count and Countess of the Players and began organising a coup in Britain to install a pro-Nazi government. Churchill, the Sixth Doctor, and Perry Brown foiled the plot, leaving Ribbentrop to place Hitler's fury when he returned to Berlin. Ribbentrop tried to salvage the situation by producing a list of British Nazi sympathies, but it had been replaced with a laundry list. This oversight made Hitler even angrier and threw into a ferocious rage, chasing Ribbentrop from the office. What, like those Get Me Hedemore sketches in Mitchell and Webb? Was Exodus just a Hitler biography? Why is it sourced so much here? I don't know. It's really weird. I guess the guy, whoever wrote it, just loved Hitler. That sucks. 6 would never be okay with Churchill. Is this also oh, this is not a Uncle Terry, I think. Let's see who did this one. Terrence Dix once again. Oh my god. Bro, leave alone. My goodness. Exodus doesn't even have that much Hitler. Apparently, it's just the best source here. Oh, God. Well, it's really funny that so much of the information comes from that page then. From that book. Why did 9/11 happen in the Whoniverse? Because the 7th Doctor insisted that it happened. That's the only explanation I can think of for why it happened. Morrissey. Speaking of fixed points in time. Also, because unit officers sent back in time didn't prevent it canonically. Is that really it? 6 punched Lovecraft for being anti-cis-phobic, by the way. Good. I hate when people write 7 like that. I agree. I think it's interesting how often 7, when he's taken out of the TV series and he's brought into the expanded universe, 7 is fundamentally a anti-authoritarian, very rebellious Doctor whose whole thing is kind of thumbing at his nose at the powers that be. And yet, in so many expanded universe stories, they take the aesthetic of that, but they make him an enforcer of the status quo. He's always there to make sure that time goes on the way it's supposed to. Even if that means atrocities, he will do that. 7 definitely wouldn't have done shit about Jimmy Savile. I can tell you that right now. At least expanded universe 7 wouldn't. TV 7 would have set him on fire. So 7 is a tanky. Yes, 7 is a tanky. And I don't necessarily agree with 7 being a tanky, but they are a tanky, and that is how they should be characterized. Oh, that's mischaracterization of my comfort character. And yeah, it keeps happening. And yet it keeps happening. And we've reached a point now where those characterizations of 7 vastly outweigh the proper ones. 7's an interesting guy. I like when his idea is supposed to contradict the real history personally. It does happen, just not as often as you'd like. Yeah, he is an interesting guy. That's why I don't like seeing him being portrayed as essentially a bootlicker for the Time Vortex. Anyway, these fits were caused by the trapped time worm amplifying Hitler's emotions, especially in stressful or unfavourable situations. The rooms in which they took place were frequently wrecked by the unstable use of psychic powers, which would leave Hitler unconscious. They never occurred in the presence of someone like Martin Bormann, who had a calming effect on Hitler. Hold on. Is the suggestion here that Hitler would have been of a more even temperament if it wasn't for the alien intervention that Terrence Dix made up? Like, what's being said there? Are you suggesting that he would have been a chill dude if it wasn't for this alien? Because he fucking wouldn't. 7 would pull a Casino Royale on Jimmy Savile. You mean with like the rope and the chair that's got no bottom, right? I'm assuming that's what you mean by a Casino Royale. Aesthetic of a radical, support for authoritarian monsters, tanky, chill but evil. Yeah, basically. Anti-Semitic people are made by aliens. Fairly normal Doctor Who fact. God damn it. God damn it. I don't know what's worse. In Doctor Who, anti-Semitic people were made by aliens, or in Star Trek, where Native American people were made by aliens. Which one's worse? Why don't you tell me in the chat? Craig's it's really funny how much this dude sounds like Craigslist. What? Yeah, no, that's canon in Star Trek Voyager. They do an episode about it. Because in Star Trek Voyager, they had a Native American character called Chakotay. Kako Queen, and Chakotay is meant to be an authentic portrayal of a Native American man. So they hired a Native American consultant to do all of the different cultural stuff, and it turned out that the consultant that they'd hired for the sake of accuracy and sensitivity was a con artist and a fraud and knew nothing about Native American culture. And so there's loads of fake white people, Native American stuff in Voyager, which is why when someone says it's one of the best Star Treks, you should be suspicious of that person, because they're probably a liberal, and liberals aren't to be fucking trusted. Yeah, no, that's genuinely a thing that happens in Voyager. Kako Queen, yes. Also, fun fact, also in Voyager, there's an episode where two crewmen get, in a transporter accident, they get fused into the same being. So now they were called Tuvok and Neelix before. Now they're called Tuvix, and they're a brand new person. And their only thing is, we want people to respect their identity as this new person, Tuvix. And the captain of the ship, Janeway, goes, no, you get back in that transporter and you split back into two people. And the episode explicitly says that they are murdering Tuvix by doing this. They do it, and it's treated as a heroic thing by the episode. Fuck Voyager, by the way. Fuck Voyager. It's fucking awful. Captain L Liberal here, do not like Voyager. Yeah, but I'm guessing that you don't like Voyager because it's badly made and it's wank, and not because of all the weird political shit in it. I'm guessing you dislike it for different reasons. What exactly happened with the Native American? I missed it. They hired a consultant who turned out to be a con artist. And so all of the Native American stuff on Voyager is fake, basically. The idea of people unmerging being bad is a real easy sci-fi concept. There's also a scene where the captain orders the ship into an incredibly dangerous nebula because there might be the resources necessary to make coffee in it. That's a thing that happens in one of the episodes as well. Because, women be shopping, right? No, I mean in the show. Oh, so he gets with 7 of 9, and that's basically it. Essentially. That's how his character arc ends. Why not have the merging people create new identity questions in the cast? Because, no, you murder them. That's the solution, clearly. According to Star Trekkers, at least, is you just murder them. Have you seen my suggestions? No. 7 of 9, like the card? No, 7 of 9 was the character played by the actor Jerry Ryan. They got this really good character actor called Jerry Ryan to portray this character called 7 of 9. However, because she was a conventionally attractive blonde woman, they stuck her in a incredibly uncomfortable lycra catsuit. Even though she should have been wearing a uniform like everyone else. And the lycra catsuit was so tight that it actually gave her permanent breathing problems. Star Trek Voyager, man. Is Star Trek Enterprise good? I haven't seen Star Trek Enterprise. I've heard it gets good. I've heard it starts a little. I've seen some of the first season, actually. It doesn't start good. It depends on how much you like George Bush. If you like George Bush, you'll probably like Star Trek Enterprise. As I always have to do in these things, watch Star Trek Deep Space Nine. You should do that. Is Star Trek / X-Men good? Wouldn't know, haven't seen it. We should probably spin the wheel again, though, because I think that Hitler article might have run out of steam. Unless there's more terrible stuff in there. Unless that happens. Ryan, please add my suggestions. They're important. I did add your suggestions just now. Hitler ran out of steam 2025. I just asked my dad. He said Voyager was crap. He's been a Trekkie since he was a kid of the 60s, so I'll take his word for it. Yeah, Voyager was crap. Voyager was crap. Original Star Trek, Next Gen, and Deep Space Nine are the best Star Treks. And the original Star Trek is like, you have to watch it very much in mind that it's from the 60s. And that it's very progressive for the 60s.
Yeah, baby.
But it's still pretty good. Ooh, what's this? Let's take a looky look in the wiki book. Oh. So, apparently, Doctor Who, Susan and Louise were temponauts. Temponauts was seemingly a portmanteau of temporal and astronaut. Also, I like TOS, the racism episode with the Riddler was good. It was good. That's a really good episode of TOS, yes. I like Balance of Terror a lot. Balance of Terror is a really good episode of TOS. Bruce Law coming. My mom has hated Doctor Who since she was a kid. I can relate to that because both my folks hate Doctor Who and wish that I didn't make content about Doctor Who. My mom wants me to do unboxing videos, and my dad wants me to do right-wing conspiracy videos. He's asked me to look into the Great Replacement before and make a video about it on Something Blue Audio. And also Project Blue Book. So now you get an idea for what flavour of crazy he is. Let's spin the wheel.
Yeah, baby.
I know, you're right. Imagine if I did a video. I'd be like, yeah, I will do it. And I'll do a video, and it's just called, like, Why the Great Replacement Theory is Bollocks, and people who believe in it are fucking losers. Just imagine if I did that. Has he gone on about 15-minute cities yet? Yes! Multiple times he's gone on about 15-minute cities. Do you know him? Or do you just know exactly which stereotype he is? Because he is that stereotype. Docky Who Chocky Ice Cream. Street's Doctor Who ice cream was a type of Doctor Who themed ice cream invented by the Fourth Doctor and distributed by Streets. The ice cream featured a choc top, vanilla, and interstellar choc chips. Packs of 10 ice creams had a label reading 800 milliliters. I love that. It's just a standard fucking chocolate, like, ice cream. I love that they've not even done anything like Doctor Who themed to it. Like, it's just chocolate ice cream. You could not even like a little Tom Baker. No, it's special. Unboxing White Supremacy with Tom Baker on Cameo. Amazing, amazing, amazing. I wonder what his cameo rates are. I know with Sylvester McCoy, you just have to ask really nicely. We could probably get Sylvester McCoy on Tardis Wiki Roulette.
Yeah, baby.
Maybe Colin. I don't think Peter Davison would say yes. No! Fuck off! No! Penny farthing! Sylvester McCoy is a Chad, yes, that is true. Do the video I suggested. QAnon, but it's about Matt Gaetz and 746 and Doge. Colin Baker played the Dalek mod. Colin would be up for it, yeah. Colin would be well up for it. You didn't get to the history section of what? Oh. No, you're right. I didn't. Fuck. Okay, no. We're going back. We're going back, yo. It's like politics. We have to go back. Fuck. Okay. What if you unbox a Doctor Who? Imagine that. Imagine that. Imagine that. Imagine that. Imagine if I was like, okay, I'm going to unbox this new character options figure. And while I'm doing that, I would just like to explain to you why lizard people don't run the government. That would be great, actually. Hello, I'm Colin Baker and you're watching TardisWiki Wiki Roulette. Imagine though. Imagine. Okay, but Q along, but Matt Gates Splash 764 isn't fake. I know it's not fake. I know that he's a child trafficker and we just let him do it. I'm very aware of that. I would totally do all three at once if my parents wanted me to do a YouTube. But it's epic. Colin Baker spins Alan. Yeah, obviously we would need to let him spin. Obviously. Okay. Doctor Who ice cream was once present in the control room of the Doctor's TARDIS. The fourth Doctor entered with K9, and the Doctor told K9 to observe the choc top, vanilla, and interstellar choc chips featured in the ice cream. Hearing this, Necros arrived, initially disguised as the Doctor before returning to his usual form and firing a device towards the ice cream. The beam was deflected and Necros was knocked back, with the Doctor saying it was a pity Necros couldn't stay. The Doctor proceeded to state that Street's Doctor Who was available in supermarkets in packs of 10. When K9 asked who invented them, the Doctor responded, "Who else, K9?" Okay. A building branded Streets Ice Cream was described as the House of Mr. M.A.A.D and Doctor Who, the latter being illustrated by an image of the fourth Doctor with Doctor Who ice cream. In the building, one child received Doctor Who ice cream while the other received Mr. M.A.A.D ice cream. Packs of both types of ice cream came with 2 stencils. This is an in-universe counterpart of the real-world Streets Doctor Who ice cream, which the Streets Doctor Who advertisement and Streets Mr. M.A.A.D and Doctor Who advertisement serve to promote. The former of these suggests the ice cream to have been invented by the Doctor himself. I think that we should bring back Doctor Who ice cream. What flavours of Doctor Who ice cream should we get? Colin Baker lands on faction paradox, which devolves into politics/sex, the two topics here on TARDIS Wiki Roulette. Hey, we don't talk about sex that much on TARDIS Wiki Roulette. Colin Baker, Alan dating sim. Yeah, actually, what I would really like to do is get Colin Baker to do a full playthrough of Doki Doki Literature Club. I think that would be the way. Delicious Dalek dark chocolate. That's a good suggestion. I like that. Cyberman cherry. Ooh. Ooh. We spin Alan to talk about sex. You know this. You speak Alan to talk about sex. I speak Alan for money. Bring back Doctor Who ice cream, but it's like the Sonic ice cream, so it's shooty Gatwa shaped with gumball eyes. I want a shooty Gatwa shaped gumball eyed ice cream, and I need it like now. I need to put that cold shooty in my mouth immediately. Please add Mix Our Own Adventure and New Earth. I added them, Xavier. Way ahead of you. Delicious Dalek dark chocolate. That's so close to DDLC. I spin Alan for the pure joy of spinning. You spin Alan for money. We are not the same. We are not the same. Okay. Let's spin the wheel. Okay. No, penny farthings. We gotta look up penny farthings. Oh my god. Penny farthings. Penny farthings. Ah! Okay. Penny farthings were a form of bicycle. While strapped into the Morlock mind reader, the first Doctor was questioned by Lobos on how he came to Zeros. He thought of a penny farthing and the image of one appeared on the device's screen. The 11th Doctor stated that he once saw a tandem penny farthing. I I definitely think it's possible to get Colin Baker to voice act in a video game, considering how often it happens now. Yeah, no, it's definitely possible to get Colin Baker to act in a video game. You just have to show up at his house with £1,200. That's all you need. He was in Fallout London? That's cool. Doctor Who dating sim. Yeah, we could do a Doctor Who dating sim and we'll get all of the actors to like voice their characters in the dating sim. I think that would be a great video.
Yeah, baby.
James Goss in universe. I'll tell you the interview that I would love to do. I would love to interview Christopher Eccleston and just spend the entire interview wearing a Russell T Davies mask. I want to interview Christopher Eccleston while wearing a Russell T Davies mask. And I tell you this right now, and this is a legally binding promise, if he strikes me, it's fine. Because I understand. I'd love to see that, honestly. Me too. I want to dress up as Russell T Davies and then just ask him as loads of questions about Salford. I want to dress up as Russell T Davies and then give him the best interview he's ever like fucking gotten. Just ask him only the questions he wants to answer. There we go. That's what I would do. Do an impression of him. Interview him in Heaton Park. Yes. Wear a King... Yeah, if he's like, I don't like that mask, just take it off and put on a King Charles mask instead and be like, do you prefer this one? I'm not going to do an impression of him. No, because I'm not actually trying to make fun of Chris Eccleston. That's the thing. I respect Chris Eccleston quite a lot. I just want to see how up for a laugh he is. That's all. James Goss was a human archivist who grew up watching the Scorchies show. Goss began watching the Scorchies show as a toddler, watching the show with his jaw agape at the characters in the show running around. Working as an archivist, he found an old recording from the 1960s at the bottom of the sea. In the recently discovered wreck of an old pirate radio station, he recovered and restored the recording and later allowed it to be broadcast by BBC audiobooks. In doing so, he inadvertently released the hush, which had been imprisoned in said recording by the 10th Doctor. As an adult, Goss wrote about how the Scorchies show was still relevant in popular culture. He noted that the series itself only seemed to be concerned with having fun as opposed to other series such as Sesame Street, which also strove to educate. Spellcat was potentially making Goss recommend readers to find clips of the series on YouTube. He partially wrote The Giggle, a book which recounted the 14th Doctor's battle with the Toymaker, during which the Toymaker himself hijacked the book, locking Goss in the back of a cupboard. Interview Christopher Eccleston with a David Tennant mask. That would be the third mask, would be the David Tennant one. That's the nuclear option. But then the planet will turn around and shit on Ryan. That's fine, I can take it. By the way, for people who want more insanity after this is done, I'm streaming KOTOR tonight. We got it working. It's fine. I fixed it. We're doing KOTOR tonight.
Yeah, baby.
Coquillion. Okay. Definitely said that wrong. There's no matches. It's fine. We're spinning the wheel again.
Yeah, baby.
Because this is how we do things. DWA 313 short story! We'll do that one. Kotor works. I don't believe you. It works. I'm telling you, you're going to find out tonight. Make some clips, by the way, Lamb. We need clips. I need clippy clips for the YouTube channel. Make it happen. Okay. What articles would we add to the wheel if Colin Baker was there? Nah, we're using the unfiltered wheel. We're using the wheel, this wheel. Or we're going to use a wheel that's just the word Michael Grade, like hundreds of times. But once again, I feel like he'd be a good sport about it. The 98 installment of Hello was published in DWA 313. The Doctor asks the readers if they've been doing anything exciting and explains that he's been up to the usual, including saving planets from zombie robots, visiting a universe made out of butter, trying to spring clean the whole TARDIS. The Doctor finally wishes the reader to enjoy the new Look magazine. The Doctor finds trying to spring clean the whole TARDIS to be a rather tiring time. The Doctor describes the magazine as brilliant. Yay! Those are cute. I like those.
Yeah, baby.
Look. Okay, we'll look at this page again. It's always going to lead to the same place. In 348309, Donald Trump had named one of the cockroaches Vladimir, claiming that the cockroach reminded him of the good old days.
Yeah, baby.
I feel like we're running low on articles. We have 208. See? We're fine. We're fine. Everything's fine. We're fine. The next Doctor should be a tall woman. Enough of the hunks make him a little guy again. 100% I agree. The Doctor should be a short king again. 100% agree. I will say, all the best Doctors are. By which I mean the 2nd and the 7th. Hostage was a story written by Neil Penswick, which would have been a part of season 27 or 28, had Doctor Who continued to be produced beyond survival. Hostage would have been a 3-part story about an elite group of soldiers sent after shape-changing criminals, Butler and Swarf, who had taken a new weapon and taken it to an overgrown jungle planet. The end of the first episode had Swarf change in full view into a monster, before it went on the hunt in the 2nd episode. The Doctor and Ace were involved, and it turned out the planet was the last battleground between the Time Lords and the Scaroth. The end piece was set in a castle. The whole thing had a fairy tale feel where the criminals intended to ignite the bomb. It was Doctor Who meets Predator and Aliens. This sounds like shite. This sounds like way too many ideas all at once. Hello, Thomas Ahim. Good to see ya. The next Doctor should step on me. The next Doctor should be a weird freak gnome guy. Yes, the next Doctor should be a weird freak gnome guy. 100% agree. Speaking on behalf of all weird freak gnome guys, I think that's definitely true. I don't think you can say fairer than that. All right, let's look at another one. Yeah. I hear you don't like Cumberbatch. We'll get to it in a second. I promise. Ooh. Ooh, the Pied Piper. Ooh. I do like Benedict Cumberbatch. I just don't rate him very highly as an actor. That's all. I think he's a lovely man. I just don't really think he's that good an actor. We did this. The next Doctor should wear a green Triforce t-shirt and khaki shorts. We did this one? Oh, okay, well then we'll do this one.
Yeah, baby.
Instead. The Claws of Sutek. No? Okay. Let's take a look. But Cumberbatch is better when he's not doing his weird American accent. Yes, his weird house American accent is weird. In that case, the next Doctor should be Benedict Cumberbatch. It's good, Thomas. It's good. I'll tell you, one that I think always strikes me is we watched the National Theatre Productions version of Frankenstein, which had Benedict Cumberbatch and Johnny Lee Miller, two actors who both played Sherlock Holmes, and they would alternate. So on one night, one would play the professor, and on the other night, the other would play the monster. It's a classic thing that egotistical actors do. Anyway, we watched both versions of the play, and Johnny Lee Miller from Elementary was better than Benedict Cumberbatch, both as the monster and the professor. And that's where the cracks started to form for me, basically. I don't hate him as Doctor Strange, but I don't love him as Doctor Strange. I thought you'd say Igor. Igor wasn't in it. Igor was not in the play. I'll tell you what, as well, there was this other dude, this other actor who was playing their dad, Victor Frankenstein's dad, and he was fucking awful. He was very bad. So, Elementary is better than Sherlock. I've heard that. But yeah, no, Johnny Lee Miller acted circles around Benedict Cumberbatch. Benedict Cumberbatch gave what I can only describe as... It felt like a really offensive performance of a special needs person. That was his take on Frankenstein. He was doing lots of weird stims. It felt like a performance from the 90s, a little bit. Elementary is fine, but whether it's better than Sherlock is very dependent on what you like in a show. I like Sherlock Holmes stories. I like Sherlock to have a mystery and solve the mystery at the end of the episode, and for there to be no lingering plot threads whatsoever, because it's a fucking Sherlock Holmes story, and Sherlock Holmes stories are not supposed to have fucking story arcs or overarching villains or any of this modern bollocks, okay? The only good Sherlock episode, in my opinion, is Disgusting. No, fuck you. It's Sherlock Holmes. If you want arcs, watch The fucking Wire. The Great Mouse Detective is the best Sherlock Holmes movie? Possibly, yes. How groundbreaking. Hey, I think there's a place for arcs and there's a place for Sherlock Holmes stories, and they're two very different fucking things. Okay? The only medium I have ever seen get the balance right is Denny O'Neil's 1970s run on Batman, which introduces Ra's al Ghul. That's the only run I've ever seen do it right. Ryan, what do you think of Sherlock Gnomes? Wouldn't know, haven't seen it. Sherlock is a meta commentary on the mythos of Sherlock Holmes. No, it isn't! No, it isn't. It's just Stephen Moffat trying to out-clever the source material. Sherlock Holmes should just be locked in a box and escape at the end of the episode just to immediately solve everything. Yes, it is. There's meta stuff in it. And even if it is a meta commentary, that does not make it good. Why does he have a hidden sister with psychic powers? Why the fuck is that the resolution to the entire thing? If it's some crazy meta commentary, if it's so fucking smart. Why? Get to the page already? Fine. The clause. Why did they make John Watson's wife a super assassin? I haven't... Yeah, no, the ending of season 4 reveals that all of the plot of Sherlock is just his evil sister, who they made up, who's an original character, do not steal. And she has psychic powers and traps John and Sherlock in, like, Saw, basically. And that's the final episode. Sherrinford is based on the Mythos. Everyone has a hidden sister with psychic powers, Ryan. Enola Holmes isn't in Sherlock. No, we're not talking about Enola Holmes. Sherrinford. Yeah, but they called her Eurus Holmes. It's not... What is Sherlock Holmes' sister's name? It wasn't Sherrinford. Enola Holmes. Oh yeah, it is Enola Holmes, I guess. I forget. Evil sister's name. Let's narrow it down a bit. Yeah, it's Eurus, not Sherrinford. Yes, because that's based on the East Wind reference. Yeah, I know. I just don't think it's clever at all. I'm sick of meta deconstructions of characters just make a good adaptation. Yeah. And like, what does it have to say? What's the thesis of this deconstruction then? What's the conclusion that they draw to? That they draw from? What's that? What conclusion do they come from? Apart from unironically making like 90s gay jokes is clever and funny actually. Like what? The facility is named Sherrinford, riffing on the... No, I get that. I just think it's wank. And I don't... If it's doing a meta commentary, the commentary has to actually have a point to it. There has to be something that it's saying. Otherwise, it's not commentary. It's just fucking navel-gazing. Alright. The Claws of Sutekh No was a one-panel comic by Russell T. Davis published with the foreword to the new story adventures The Inside Story in 26th of February 2004. Summary to be added. Sutekh appears to have at least 3 hands. He holds a pillow in one. Russell T. Davis would be responsible for bringing Sutekh back in earnest in TV The Legend of Ruby Sunday. He dated this short comic to 2003. Oh, that's kind of fun. Why does he have 3 hands, though? What's going on there? What's going on there? It's only interesting to someone who's deep into the... Oh, of course. I wouldn't understand because I'm too stupid. How fucking convenient. Alright, let's spin the wheel.
Yeah,
That is a reference to the blooper. I don't know. Not what I said. I know, but it is how it comes across, though. Moffat and Gatiss intended it to be their own indulgent project. I know. I'm just saying that it's wank. You're allowed to like it. I'm just saying I don't. Not their fault it got super popular. TD1 was the first installment of Hatchet Partworks LTD's The Dalek Collection, reached on 8th of January. Week by week, construct a high-quality 1.2 per scale model of the legendary Time Wars Dalek, with light, sound, movement, and interchangeable weapons, all operated by remote control. In this issue, you will begin assembling the Dalek eyepiece. Riverdale is actually its own thing, and they... What? I think it could just be for very particular hardcore book fans, Riverdale, but without the normal part. I just know that the criticisms are often a bit overdone. That's fair. It's just how I feel about it, to be honest. I'm not a big Sherlock Holmes book person. I've read A Study in Scarlet. I liked that a lot. But I have watched a lot of the old movies. And I stand by that it works better when it's episodic. Just because you aren't the target audience doesn't mean you can't critique it. Exactly. Exactly. Like, I'm looking at it purely as a show, and as a show, it doesn't really feel like it needs to have arcs. The arcs that are there are quite weak and make the show seem weaker by comparison. And a lot of the tropes that I see on the show have a lot more in common with soap operas than they do detective dramas. So just on those bases, I just don't really fuck with it, to be honest. And it might be making some kind of really like high-minded point about the Sherlock Holmes stories originally, but it fails to be a compelling detective drama while it's doing it. I think that you should engage with art based on what it's trying to do, not invent new standards that it was never trying to meet. Yeah, but one of the standards it's trying to meet is being a good TV show. And there's a lot of other shows that have much, 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 much deeper themes and are much harder meta commentaries on much more difficult subjects than Sherlock Holmes, and still manage to also be a compelling TV show. Sherlock is trying to be a good show. I don't think it's a good show. Checkmate. Yeah, it sounds like you agree with H-Bomber Guy. I do agree with H-Bomber Guy about a lot, because he has this disturbing habit of being right about everything. Yes. I also think that them making Moriarty crazy and their idea of him being crazy is just a gay man is very strange, and I still think it's very strange. By the way, I saw that actor Anthony Scott do Kafka in also at the National Theatre. He did a one-man show of Kafka, and not Kafka, sorry, what was it? It was Uncle Vanya. It was Vanya. He did Uncle Vanya, sorry, and it was fucking spectacular. He's very good. There was a bit where he had sex with himself that was a little bit strange, but he's wrong about Sherlock, horribly wrong. Okay, buddy. Wonder why it got so popular if it just fails as a show. Ooh, that's interesting. That's an interesting argument. Do you think Yellowstone is good, Najawin? Do you think Blue Bloods is good? Because they both succeeded as shows. They were both very popular and successful. Do you think The O'Reilly Factor is a good show? Because it was popular, so it can't have failed at delivering its message, because it was popular. Do you want to make the argument it's popular because it's good because it's popular? Do you think that Transformers Revenge of the Fallen, I mean, if it fails as a movie, why did it make so much money? It must be good, right? I think they meet a bare standard of technical competence. Okay. Hostage should have been a free part. Well, we already did this one. We're looking at TD1 now, apparently. And I mean, you were talking shit about Supernatural before, but Supernatural has 4 times as many seasons as Sherlock. So does that mean, according to your objective criteria, Supernatural is 4 times better than Sherlock? It is, by the way. Multiple times better than Sherlock, but... Everyone loves seeing the lions be real and live action. We're talking about actually being good shows, though. Yeah, I agree. And that's why I don't think you can use success, like financially, as a barometer for whether a show is good or not. Because people will watch some bullshit, and it will be extremely popular. Number of seasons, popularity, same metrics. I mean, you do get seasons commissioned based on how many seasons. Seasons are literally commissioned based on ratings, so yes, would be my answer to that, Najawin.
Yeah, baby.
It's a silly attempt at an argument, come on. Walkers, like the crisps. Breaking Bad is popular too. Checkmate. Let's see. Walker's. Walker's was a brand of crisps. Let's look up Walker's crisps. over here on Tardis Wiki Roulette. Walker's was a brand of crisps. Flavors of crisps included cheese and onion and barbecue, as well as ones that came in red, green, and yellow packets. Rose Tyler once ate from a bag of Walker's crisps with red packaging in London 2005 with her boyfriend Mickey Smith. The following day, cheese and onion and barbecue Walker's crisps were being sold in a shop in Queen's Arcade, along with those in green and yellow packets. The red packaging of Rose's Walker's bag indicates that the flavour was ready salted. Gary Lineker has been appearing in the company's advertisement since 1994. In 1989, Walker's was bought up by PepsiCo, who placed it under their Frito-Lay subsidiary, which makes equivalent Lay's crisps in the US and Canada. Wow, we learned stuff. Isn't that cool? You love learning stuff? Let's spin the wheel again.
Yeah, baby.
You all have no excuse for watching Wonderfalls except for, well, the writer. Who wrote Wonderfalls? I'm looking it up now. Ah! Ah! Okay. Blu-ray is better. Blu-ray is better. The DVD should have been retired a decade ago. That is 100% true. Alright. What did we land on? Last Contact. Oh no, not War in Heaven shit. Okay. Who wrote Wonderfalls? Brian Fuller wrote Wonderfalls. Not even finishing my word. Which word? Okay, I'm going now. Bye. Alright. Jesus. Did we look this up? I'm pretty sure we looked this up. Either way, it's going to be the final thing we read. So, Last Contact was the event in which the enemy destined to destroy Gallifrey would become known and the war in heaven would become inevitable. Lana told Ulysses, Mr. Saldemir, and Penelope Gate about Last Contact and the prophecy. As date index, I'm not reading that. A Matrix prediction predicted that the Vor, who in the first draft of history had evolved to become an advanced benevolent race, had become a swarming and aggressive force in the redraft caused by the destruction of the Kickatrix. It was revealed that in a possible final stand between the Time Lords and the Vor, fatalities were between 20 to 40% of the Time Lord population. As a result, the Supreme Council mandated that no Time Lord was to come within 1 parsec of 1 century of the Vor, since this was a potential last contact. In one of many intersections between a young 8th Doctor and the war which still loomed in his future, the Doctor got a glimpse of what he believed to be the enemy. However, the ship told Alita that after a pilot had gone into his future and identified the enemy, he had decided to erase the information from his memory. Saldemir, who had charged himself with ensuring that the Time Lord continued to exist, was scared of Last Contact. He and the Doctor's father often talked about wars, great projects, and other big things that needed to be taken care of. After being visited by a version of Bernice Summerfield, Danny the Fish feared that the Doctor may have been compromised by Contact. This version of Benny had been in a relationship with the 8th Doctor for 10 years, since their meeting at Allen Road, rather than leaving her on Della. The Doctor had accompanied her, although the adventures on Apollox 4 and with the Grell on Perfection in the 46th century. Some archaeologists knew a legend that the Doctor and Benny had 13 half-immortal children. The Infinity Doctor also remembered Bernice being pregnant. Danny the Fish conveyed his fears to Saldemar, who was in San Francisco, then destroyed his priceless collection, except for a book bound in reptilian hide. Saldemar later observed Benny on Mars in 2595 and told her that he was going to San Francisco. Benny recognized Saldemar but couldn't remember where she had met him. Someone Danny the Fish called the Leader was also in San Francisco. Notably, San Francisco was also where Daniel Joyce led the Advanced Research Project. The Eighth Doctor and the Clade were present during Last Contact, where they encountered each other again during the Clade's hunt for the last one. It was in the Clade's past, but the Doctor did not remember it, whether it be because of his memory list, or because it had not actually happened to him yet, or because it would no longer happen to him in the post-war version of history. Last Contact was central to Lance Perkins' picture of the War in Heaven. Last Contact occurred in Parkins' rejected BBC Eighth Doctor Adventures notes pitch, Enemy of the Daleks. In the story, the Clade and the Needle were introduced as part of a massive intergalactic alliance that was dedicated to fighting the enemy and led by the Doctor's father from his laboratory in Berkeley, a reference to Daniel Joyce from Unnatural History, who was identified with Ulysses in Parkins' later book, The Gallifrey Chronicles. When the Eighth Doctor accidentally sent the space-time coordinates of Dalek Space Command to the enemy, he established Last Contact and condemned the universe to its death. The events of this story were referenced in Father Time. In Parkins' reference guide, A History, which presupposed that the War in Heaven was the same as, or another facet of, the Last Great Time War, Last Contact was redefined as the First Doctor's first meeting with the Daleks, as seen in The Daleks. Okay. Harassment allegations. Like the other superhero guy that the public collectively hates. Wild Magic Vorstream confirmed. I guess it got confirmed. Hang on, what Brian Fuller did harassment, my understanding is that it's heavily contested. Other people on the set are backing up Fuller. Oh, so he probably did it then. That's what that means. Because usually, you know, when that happens, it turns out that they did it. We're talking about Hank Pym. True, at least it's not Russell Brand. That is true. That is true. No Joss Whedon? Yes, exactly. 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 No? What do you mean, no? I'm gonna look into this now. I'm curious. We're actually done with the stream, by the way. You can all go now. Oh, he was sued for sexual harassment. Oh. Oh. That's serious. Damn. Out of spite and because content. You guess now. Russell Brand, what could possibly go wrong? Jonathan Ross, the Doctor, drops it. I fucking hate Ultimate Hank Pym. Yeah, Ultimate Hank Pym is the absolute worst. Okay. I'm gonna head off now. Ultimate Universe is good for everyone except Hank and Natasha. Doesn't the Wasp get eaten by the Blob in that universe? Is that one? Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna head off now. I'll catch you all later. Come watch me play KOTOR tonight on Twitch. Wild Magic. It should be a good time. Wasp deserves better, yes. Goodbye. Goodbye. Bye. Follow me on Twitch. Yes, do that. Bye, everyone.